Hello, friends, and welcome to Wagmi Tarot's reading for the week of June 7 to 13th. And I'm really delighted to pick out some messages for you from these tarot cards and convey the universe's guidance to you, to whoever needs it. So I'm really excited to know what this week holds for us, the week of June 7. So let's get started. Okay, starting fresh, a wonderful new beginning is blossoming in my life. This is the overall energy for this week, and I think it's really promising. Do we have anything else? Let me see. Awakening ancient wisdom, deep inner knowing is emerging within me. All right. Okay, so let's see what are our hurdles and what is going to support us. And what is it that we should pursue this week? Okay, right. And now let's pull out some cards for career. Okay. This is for career. This is for relationships. Interesting. And let's pick this out for your health. Excellent. Let's get into this beautiful reading. So what I get immediately out of these cards is that fresh starts, like we saw, are just around the corner, but you may not be able to see them, and that may make you really anxious this week. But this week is still the week of gathering strength and having faith and believing that there are opportunities for new starts that are ahead. That is the big message that's coming out for this week. And before I get into the message, I'd like to make a humble request to please subscribe to my channel and like my videos if you like my readings. Please do write in the comments section below what are the kind of readings you'd like to see, and if this reading resonated with you, it'll make me very happy and motivated to bring more readings for you. Okay, so we were talking about that this week is about finding out and developing inner faith that new starts, fresh beginnings are really round the corner, even if they are not visible. And here's this card of awakening ancient wisdom, deep inner knowing is emerging within me. This card is really pointing towards that faith within you, where you know that things are going to change. They are going to be, something that you want things to shape like. Okay. It's like when you have that intuition that things are going to change for the better. That's what this card, Awakening Ancient Wisdom, means to me. That there are opportunities for fresh starts. And even if you can't see it, you do not become anxious. Okay, and why you don't become anxious this week is because you are actually gathering courage and determination to do what it takes. You are taking a long look at your dreams, and you do know that the road ahead is uncertain, because nowadays planning for the future, everybody knows, is not easy. We don't plan for future nowadays with so much uncertainty around like we used to do earlier. And that's why this long view of your future, this long road to wherever it's taking you, it does make you feel like you have half information, not full. However, you still want to take a chance, grab this opportunity, and travel on that road. And again, this lack of information, Moon card is a lot about uncertainty and not knowing enough. And it kind of resonates with the whole concept of the light of the moon, where you can see some things and you can't see some things. And something which is very close is not visible. Something that's a little bit further ahead seems to be really far out. And our decisions cannot be accurate because light and darkness is kind of very muddled. There is as much darkness or more darkness than there is light. And so this is the state of your thinking also. But it does show a clear path in your head, a clear idea in your head, a clear resolution of doing something that you have formed within your mind. You may not have enough information, yet you are going to do this. Now, your biggest hurdle this week seems to be taking too much opinion, seeking too much opinion, or trying to get a consensus of too many people, trying to take everyone on board. And this week is really not good for that, for building consensus, for seeing to it that everyone agrees. This is a difficult one for that. So getting everyone onto your boat, or getting everybody's approval, or gathering all the approvals is a hurdle this week. So anyone doing any kind of paperwork, you may have to fight really hard in order to get all your paperwork completed this week. Finally, what's going to help us as we make our decisions, as we start fresh? And this card is the 10 of Wands from the traditional tarot deck. This is a Thoth tarot deck, and it's called Oppression. What's going for us is the end of the oppression that we inflict upon ourselves. You see these two arrows point inwards or downwards. They're not arrows, they're wands. These two wands point inwards in a way. And it seems to me that our own oppression is our own fears, our own doubts, the things that we tell ourselves, procrastination, laziness, and maybe not having enough faith. Those are the things with which we sabotage ourselves. And what's going to help us is end of these negative thoughts in our mind, which can get out of our way because it's already very dark. We are already kind of gathering more information, and those things are not going to help us. So anything that other people say to you, pull you down, make you doubt yourself, if there have been delays in the past, this week you will put all those doubts to an end, all those disappointments. You're going to kind of rise above them, okay, rise above that oppression. So then I took out some cards for your career, your relationships, and your health. And for career, I got this Page of Swords reversed, and it tells me that this week you do not want to play small. You do not want to play like someone who is doing something from the beginning. Okay, a lot of you have some kind of fatigue when you apply for jobs, and you're like, I'm not going to do this all over again. It cannot be application and interview. It has to be something like I call up someone, use my network, that kind of a thing. You don't want to play small. You want to go for the big roles. You want to go for the big projects. You want to go for the important things. Also, you want to make yourself heard. You want to be treated well. You want to be treated seriously. So in the workplace, in your career space, if you were playing small or you were not doing things to your potential, this week you are not going to be satisfied with that. In relationships, I've got the Death card, and again it's kind of close to this card which read oppression. And please don't get scared by this word death. It actually means death of fears. That's what came to my mind. So sometimes we are afraid to discuss some topics Sometimes we have some doubts, trust issues, and we just keep them in our hearts. We don't act on them, but this is the death of all those things, and you are really going to investigate and find out what the truth is. You are not going to live with less information, or you're not going to, in relationships, you are not going to just chug along. You are past that stage. You will not just go on, carry on. You are very clear that things that are not in your favor really in a relationship, those things are balanced out. And really, it's the death of insecurities. What it means is that if you are no more, if you're insecure in a relationship, and suddenly you decide that I don't want to feel this way, you get the strength of doing something drastic. You get the motivation or the self-confidence of making things right in whatever way it takes. So could that be the death of a relationship because someone moves out? Maybe. Could it mean the death of an old way of treating each other? Yes, okay, maybe. Basically, it's about moving on. It's everybody who had painful breakups, everybody who has been struggling in one way or the other with heartache. This week will help a lot in moving on as well. That's why I said at the beginning, it's the death of fears. You will not be like, oh my God, I'm going to live this life alone. I'll be lonely. Loneliness is my fear. No, those fears will go away, and you will take your pain and make yourself stronger and move on. That's about relationships. For health, I got the Magician card in the reversed, and it seems to me that there is a possibility this week that a lot of you may be more troubled by the idea of being sick than actually being sick, and misdiagnosis or some stray statements that doctors or friends could make here and there can really kind of take a toll on your mental peace and plant a lot of fear in you about developing or having developed certain conditions. You would have all the information, but you would still feel like you're in the dark and you would not know how to process it. So I think on the health front, a lot of people would be dealing with the idea of not knowing enough, and that would really cause their mental peace. And when you are not peaceful mentally, you are stressed out, you tend to make yourself more sick. So watch out for too much mental activity, too much fear and doubt, too much anxiety about your health. Okay, or anxiety itself could be an issue that could be playing on a lot of people, afflicting a lot of people this week. So please watch out for that and steer clear from that. There's a huge tendency this week to feel that way. Maybe because we are starting fresh. We are doing a lot of things this week. We are deciding to have a new beginning in our lives, and we are exploring all our options so that we can travel this path. So it's a mixed reading this week. On one hand, there is this optimistic message of new beginnings and knowing what it takes, but then there is also this aspect of not knowing enough how the path is like. However, I think overall it's a really positive message, because it is just it talks about determination and a will to change your life. A lot of you will feel that way. This is not a week of giving up, and I'm very happy to read that message and see it over here. A lot of you are going to regain self-confidence in your future plans and walk on it. So more power to you, everyone, and be safe. I'm going to meet you very soon. Bye for now.